Okay, my plan for this video is to show where I'm at, where I'm going, and how things are going here. As you can see, I'm heading north on 1806, which is, and in the background, right, let's see, over here. You have to go too far over here. Let me see. Okay, there's the town of Cannonball. Just off the highway there. We'll pass the sign. I'm going to try and show mile markers and things like that so you can verify. I want to try and make it an uninterrupted video so that you can, and with a fairly, as much as I can, a running commentary of what's going on and where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. So that you can tell that it has not been edited in any way. Alright, I'm pulling out on 1806 here, and we are heading north. And wherever possible, and if I remember, I will try to show the mile markers along the way so you can see that it's not interrupted and that I am actually doing what I say I'm doing. Okay, I know there's a mile marker up here close to the Cannonball sign. I think it's just past it, but we'll get the Cannonball sign in there. We're a few miles south of where the protest and where the camp is. I believe it's called Red Spirit Camp, I think. Okay, here's the Cannonball sign for the town of Cannonball. Did I miss that mile marker? I think I did. Okay, anyway, if nothing else, I'll get the next one, hopefully. Probably should have gotten help to do this. It's probably not the best thing to do, driving while I'm trying to film. Okay, we're past the town of Cannonball. Ooh, there's the police. I should have filmed that. Oh well. They got a command post here for the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs, which have authority. There's a mile marker 33. I do have some still pictures of those, so I could put them in the video, maybe. I don't know. I've not done this before, so this is the first time for me. Alright, we're coming down into the valley where the Cannonball River is. You can see off in the distance some of the encampment. Okay, there should be a 34 down here pretty quick. Okay, this first piece of water here is just a flood pool. When the river floods, it fills this up, and it doesn't always evaporate before the end of the year. There's one on both sides, but I'm not going to turn around and look for it. Okay, there's 34. Alright, now we are still in Sioux County, which is the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. Okay, they've got some horses. Have to slow down because there's a lot of people walking around. Plus I want to get some pictures of a couple of things here. Okay, here's a sign for the Cannonball River, which is the northern border to Sioux County. If I move over here just a little bit, we should be able to see that we would be leaving the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. If once we cross this bridge, we are no longer in the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. And over here, that is the Cannonball River. And as you can see, those people there are across the river. They are on the north side of the Cannonball River. And there's a lot of them. Now, I'm pretty sure that the Army Corps of Engineers is only responsible for 15 feet off the Cannonball River. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right, because I also own land on the Cannonball River, and that's what I was told when I bought it. So anybody more than 15 feet off the Cannonball River are actually on private property up there. Therefore, they are trespassing unless they have specific permission from the owner, who was Dave Meyer, who is now the pipeline company. It's quite a group. The dichotomy I see is, look at all the cars. These people are all driving. They're all fighting a pipeline that will help provide fuel and make fuel cheaper, and they're all driving here. See the horse trailers? Whoops, too fuzzy. So even the horses were brought in with horse trailers. Campers, cars. There are some teepees. They built some teepees. But for the most part, these people are all on private land. There's probably more people here than the entire town of Cannonball. And they're all from somewhere else. They're not from North Dakota. Most of them. Yeah, I can't prove that. But if I were to drive down in there and look, I bet we'd find that I'm right. Off in the distance, that's the Missouri, the Cannonball running into the Missouri at that point. Oops. A few people walking. Another flood pool. This is not part of the river. I think a creek runs down through here. Okay, we are now well north of the Cannonball River, or at least coming up, should be at least a mile above the Cannonball. Let's see, last mile marker was 34. Have to slow down. I should be coming up to where they are actually protesting, because it's where the pipeline crosses 1806. Again, we are past the Cannonball River, so we are out of Sioux County, which is the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. Standing Rock does extend down into South Dakota, but for the North Dakota part, it ends at Sioux County. The southern border of Sioux County is the South Dakota-North Dakota state line. Here comes a mile marker. Oh, I did miss a few. It's 36 now. Okay, well, anyway, I tried. It's hard to do this by yourself. Okay, this is the area where the here's some of their signs and stuff up here. And maybe we'll turn around and try to catch it. I'm pretty sure this is the area where the pipeline is going to cross 1806. Car. It's from Washington. The license plate said Washington. Yeah, we got people from all over here. Thing is, that's my point. Part of my point is that this has gotten way out of hand for what it is. It's our local Indians, left to their own devices, I believe, don't even really care about this pipeline that much. Oh, okay, hold on, I was wrong. This is the point where it's going to cross the 1806, because I can see up here where the bulldozers have been. I'll try to get some pictures of it. Right here. Here's where they've been bulldozing on this is on the west side of the highway. The Indians have kind of stopped it from going on the east side, and that immediate point, there is a place further down, but I can't get in there. Now that my cousin doesn't own the land anymore, I don't have access to this area to get in there and actually show you where it crosses the Missouri. There's some things you can see from the south. I'm going to pull a U-turn here on the highway and get some pictures coming from the south. We are now heading south. So we are coming out of southern North Dakota. We will be heading into Sioux County, into the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. Now, one thing to remember is that underneath where they're digging this, right next to it, is a natural gas pipeline that was put in 1982. And so any no video, no photos. Wow, wonder why that is. They don't want people to know. I was reading a sign. I didn't take a video of it, but it said no video and no photos. Wonder why. Okay, we're still heading south, and we're just coming over the hill here. Okay, there is some digging over here, so somewhere they must be coming down south. But anyway, my point was about the pipeline is that underneath this pipeline and next to it is a natural gas pipeline put in 1982. So any graves and or artifacts or cultural sites were dug up back in 1982. And so it really is kind of unfounded that that their ancestors are being disturbed. I think what happens when this all started, they forgot to tell their people that got them stirred up, forgot to tell them about that pipeline. And so I think it's going to come as a big surprise when they realize that they can't prove any sites, because the pipeline was purposely put through the same area for a couple of reasons. One, the Northern Borders pipeline already had an easement, so once the Northern Borders and Energy Transfer Partners came up with a deal to share the easement, the landowner really didn't have much say as to whether this pipeline could even go in or not. Because if you look up easements and how they work, the landowner really doesn't have a whole lot of say once he's agreed to the original easement. Now, my cousin did buy the land from somebody else when the easement was gotten. He didn't own it back in 1982. And the way easements work is they stay with the land. So if you buy the land, you automatically have agreed to any easements that previous landowner had agreed to. And so my cousin really didn't have much say as far as whether the pipeline even went in. He couldn't stop it. Not that he was going to. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't care any more than I do about the pipeline. Okay, again, here we are on the north side of the border. We have not crossed into the Standing Rock Indian Reservation yet, and look at the size of that town. That thing is huge. Like I said, I'm sure there's more people in there than the whole town of Cannonball. So really, their only real gripe is their worry about the pipeline leaking and leaking oil. The funny thing about oil, though, is that it separates from water. You can test this yourself. Pour some oil, clean your. Here's the Cannonball we were crossing. We're now entering. I'll try to get a shot of it. Entering Standing Rock Indian Reservation. I can't stop there because it's right on the bridge, as much as I may want to. And okay. Anyway, so you can look up easement and find out what the rules are on it. And basically, oh, and I said my cousin didn't have the land in 1982, but the easements stay with the land, so he didn't have any say in it anyway. But because of all this silliness, he decided he's not going to get any pasturing done out of it, and so he decided to sell it. Well, there's not too many ranchers that were going to take on the headache of this, and the fact they won't be able to put their cows in that pasture until this is all done. So he decided to sell, and there were no other ranchers that were probably willing to buy it, and so he worked out something with Energy Transfer Partners, and the Energy Transfer Partners bought it. So that city, the temporary camp that's built there, is actually staying there on the good graces of the pipeline company that they're fighting against. So we'll see what happens with that. Over here, I mentioned on our way in, there's a police command post there. I believe it's going to be BIA, because now we're in the Standing Rock Indian Reservation again. Now they got communications. Anyway, that was where the police are headquartered while they're down here. And we're now heading again south. We'll go to the point where I stopped before to show the 1806 north. I apologize for the wiggling and the moving around. I hope I'm not a professional photographer. I should have probably gotten somebody to help me with this so that I could just concentrate on driving. But it's the way it is. It is what it is. But I think there's enough points in here to show that this is not what is being portrayed. They are not in Standing Rock Indian Reservation, therefore they're not on tribal land, and their whole fight is similar to your neighbor saying you can't put in indoor plumbing in your house because it might leak. If they came in and just protested and just chanted and did their thing, I don't have any problem with that. What I have a problem with is that they are claiming innocence and telling all kinds of untruths, misleading people into thinking this is tribal land when it's not. So that's my big grief with the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. Thanks. Bye.